firstly, it's worth pointing out to people like what's actually involved in, say, setting up an on-ramp, or why is it so hard? Why aren't there 50 million people that all have on-ramps and all of these businesses everywhere that are, everyone using these on-ramps? Maybe we can talk a little bit about that as well. Like, so what is involved with and what is an on-ramp as well? Like, I have, say, a US dollar balance in a bank account in the US, and I walk into a store, or maybe I'm on holiday in El Salvador, and it's like, cool, how do I pay in crypto for that thing over there? How do I get my money from that bank over there over here now? What's the process?
Awesome. I think maybe a lot of your listeners are from the US, so I'll use US as an example and an analogy. So how do you get money into Cash App? How do you get money into Venmo? How do you get money into Zelle, which, by the way, is probably the largest app in all of Venezuela, even though it's in the US? And that's what everyone is paying with Zelle. And essentially, like, for example, looking at Zelle, it's just created its own payment rails. And it's using RTP. I think it's the only app that uses RTP, which is probably the best rails that exist in the US, but it's not available to everyone. So, I mean, you could look at like, why would not all banks make this available to everyone? Maybe there's a reason that they keep them slow and keep that control. But anyway, so imagine if we could have a crypto wallet be as easy to fund as your Cash App or Venmo. But instead of it using like a centralized ledger, we're using crypto as the payment rail. So that would be the ultimate on-ramp, let's say. And then off-ramp, the same way as a Cash App would go back to your bank account, or maybe like a MoneyGram, you can get your cash out through traditional banking rails. Like, all it would be doing is essentially replacing the rails of what everyone uses in the US, like Venmo or Cash App. So that would be just through a decentralized ledger rather than a centralized ledger. And the reason why we'd use a decentralized ledger is because, once again, it doesn't have or see any borders or boundaries. So imagine a Cash App that worked everywhere in every country, and we could just have that seamless off-ramp and on-ramp in whatever region you're in. That is, I think, the biggest promise of crypto.